Yes, the game versus Leicester City just ended a couple of minutes ago. So I would say it was a dominant performance, a very dominant performance in terms of control, possession, though the score line, does not reflect that or doesn't reflect that. So it was ended up being a 2-1 win or 1-2 win if you want to be, a stickler for that sort of detail. But Chelsea were dominant from start to finish. But it was one of those games where you were just hoping and praying and wishing, just saying, please get the second goal, get the second goal. Because with Chelsea's record this season, it's been one where where the team always concedes goals. Always concedes goals, no matter how well they play. It could be 4-1, even the game against Wolves, that was an absolute routing. It was ended up being a 6-2 win, which meant he conceded 2 goals. So that was my only prayer throughout the game. I was hoping and praying to please get the goal, please get the second goal. And Enzo Fernandez got the goal. In my opinion, that was a good goal. And though he was made man of the match, for me, I felt it was more for Caicedo or Nicolas Jackson because he had a hand in 2 goals. So let's talk about Nicolas Jackson first off. He was very good today. His goal scoring, not just the goals he scored, which was very good finish. He showed two key attributes for a striker. Just his persistence, being a handful for the defender, as the phase, I think the Belgian defender being a handful, for the defender, and got the goal, sublime finish. So exquisite touch, exquisite finish, good control to finish that because it might seem to be an easy finish, but that could have quite easily gone over the bar, and then that would have been a very bad miss. But proper finish from proper strikers finish, proper persistence, and making life difficult for defenders. So he showed these two key attributes in the game, and as well he was dropping into dangerous parts of the midfield, picking the ball up, and being part of the build up, of play. And there was a shot he took that could have led to a goal. The goalkeeper saved it, and you know, Palmer latched onto it, but for the Madueke, the ball came off him. Though he tried his best to get out of the way, um, but ended up not going in. So 1-0 going into the second half. You're hoping and praying that the team is able to, reap the benefits of their dominance because this was absolutely a dominant performance in my opinion. And then Nicolas Jackson, the cross came in from Cucurella, got a header, and that resulted in the goal because Nicolas Jackson latched onto the ball, goalkeeper punched it, and then Enzo Fernandez was there to pick up the scraps and score the goals, which is one thing we have been craving from Enzo Fernandez, being there in the box and picking up scraps and scoring those goals, making those late runs into the box. And so overall good performance. Wesley Fofana put in another strong performance again. I think he's growing game in, game out. He's growing and becoming a real presence, not only doing his normal defensive job, doing defensive task, but also bringing the ball out from defense and even moving into midfield sometimes. So kudos to him. Badiashile, I've always said Badiashile lacks confidence. I don't think he's good enough to play for Chelsea at this level. So he was decent today. I'll raise my hand up and say he was decent today. But that being said, I don't think he is still Chelsea level. I can raise my hand up to say he was good today, but overall, but in terms of being the kind of centre back Chelsea needs and requires, to really push for top four, to really push for the title maybe in the next couple of seasons. I don't see him in that sort of nick. So I don't see him in that sort of nick. So probably Thomas Arujo may come in the summer, or Jonathan Tah, like I said in the previous video, could come in as well and do that job there. So that's good on that front. And then João Felix, he started out wide, but as the game progressed, you always knew he would drift into the midfield. He always drifted into the midfield, and then Cucurella was the one that provided, width down that left side. So Cucurella, like I said, he is the perfect fullback for an Enzo Maresca system. He invents very well. He overlaps. He underlaps very well. So I think he's perfect for that system. Malo Gusto was out today. Didn't didn't play today, so it was something where he had Wesley Fofana shifting into that right back, that right back bet every now and again. But it was essentially a three-man centre back. Well, I couldn't pair it, but three-man centre back defense when Chelsea was on the ball, and that happened to be a lot for most of the game. Chelsea were always on the ball and dominant on the ball, like I said. And then what else do we want to talk about as well? So the Leicester City penalty. It wasn't the penalty, in my opinion. Now you might say, "Oh, you're a Chelsea fan. What else are you going to say?" For me, I feel like no, no. Reed clipped himself and was going down. He was already on his way down after clipping himself. And then I would admit that Romeo Lavia was a bit clumsy, but that shouldn't have been a penalty because Reed clipped himself and was already on his way down. So how VAR looked at that and said, "Yeah, that's a penalty," I can't quite understand it. And then another refereeing decision as well, or rather officiating decision as well that I wasn't quite comfortable with. Cucurella, you know, putting a very good cross into the box, and Noni Madueke latched onto the deflected cross from Cucurella and scored what I thought was a perfectly good goal. At first, when they'll talk about VAR considering a possible offside, I felt maybe it would have been for Nicolas Jackson, and they would come up with this thing where they'll say he was interfering with the goalkeeper's ability to save to save the shot from Noni Madueke. But saying Cucurella was offside, I don't think it was. A lot of people are trying to say it was marginally offside, but I don't think it actually was. Now, the most horrible decision, the poorest decision of the day was surely Ndidi on Cole Palmer. Ndidi on Cole Palmer, and that should have been a straight red. It should have been a straight red. What ended up saying was booked given a yellow card and allowed to commit a couple of more fouls, throughout the game. They should have gone. And to be honest, in the first 15 minutes, Leicester City seemed to be out for Chelsea players, just fouling players left, right, and centre. And the referee, for whatever reason, seemed to, allow them to go on. I'm sure it'll be one of those things where they say, "Oh yeah, we're trying to keep every player on the pitch." No, keeping players on the pitch isn't really your responsibility as a referee. It's get the decisions right. The, Keeping the player on the pitch is the responsibility of the player in the first instance, and then maybe the manager of the team by giving them instruction to calm down and all that stuff. So it's not the referee's responsibility to keep players on the pitch; is to get decisions right. Because for me, Wilfred Ndidi should have been sent off, in my humble opinion. So, but overall, I think it was a good performance, a dominant performance, and it would have been a shame if Chelsea were unable to get all 3 points today. That's why, like I said earlier on, I was really hoping and praying and screaming for the second goal. So happy days, got all 3 points. Usually the fixtures right after international break. After international break, are usually tricky fixtures. You're a bit tired, not up to speed with how you want to play, and you end up dropping points. But good performance overall. Got 3 points. Happy days head back to London with those 3 points, and now in third spot. Let's see what Arsenal do with Nottingham Forest. But I think that would guarantee that Chelsea remain in the top four by the end of this game week. So at this point, I've come to the end of today's video. Thanks for watching. Thanks for all of you who have been subscribing, who have been viewing the shots as well, following me on TikTok, subscribing on here, and viewing and watching the videos. So thank you all for your continued support. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. The notification bell as well, so you're notified each time I go on live. I post a video on the channel, whether I pre-record a video such as this one or a live stream. So at this point, I'd say do have a fantastic rest of your day. Bye-bye.